All right, so let's be real with ourselves for a second. If you have arthritis and have ever felt, or especially recently felt, scared, I want you to keep listening. Because it is a totally normal feeling, especially if you have a chronic disease like arthritis that doesn't get spoken about enough. And so I want to come on today and let you know that fear is totally normal and you are not alone, because I have recently had 2 to 3 people message me all separately saying that they are scared because they have arthritis and they don't really know what to expect. They don't know what's normal. They don't know where to go from here. And so I just want to give you 3 quick tips if you are feeling scared and you have arthritis. A lot of times if we have pain and we don't really know if we can control it, we don't really know if this pain is going to keep getting worse, then that's kind of when that fear starts to manifest. And then we start to turn online, and then we start to turn to friends and family for information, and that may actually make things worse. And so tip number 1, if you are feeling scared about arthritis, is I just want you to take a deep breath and start changing your thoughts. Okay, so hear me out for a second. So if you watch a scary movie, like for me, I absolutely hate scary movies, and I end up closing my eyes through the entire thing. But if you're watching a scary movie and then you start to have kind of these scary thoughts, like for example, if you're watching a movie about like an abduction or something, then you start to fear, okay, is somebody going to come, kidnap me or something? You start to put yourself in that situation. But then a lot of times, I know I do this, is after you watch that, then you go watch like a comedy. Then I would turn on Schitt's Creek, or I would turn on Friends, or something more lighthearted that's going to kind of change those thoughts and make you feel more positive. So what if we did the same thing with our arthritis and the thoughts that we're having about our pain? Not necessarily that you need to go sit down and just binge watch Friends, but if you are starting to feel those negative thoughts, you start to feel yourself, man, why me? Why am I doing this? Why are my joints feeling like this? How do I get my joints to stop? What if I end up debilitated in a couple years? Take those thoughts and just start to shift them. Think about all of the positive things. And one of the things that can help you with this is if you just think about the top 5 things that you are blessed with. Maybe you have beautiful, healthy grandchildren. Maybe you live in the mountains like I do. Maybe you have a super supportive family or a super supportive husband, or maybe you live in a house that you love. If you can list these 5 things that you are absolutely extremely blessed for, this could be a start, because I want you to start thinking about positive things in your life. And it sounds super simple and super cliche, but I promise you it works. I was just listening to a recent podcast with a super famous psychologist, and it was very interesting because our thoughts drive everything. So if we continue to put our thoughts down that rabbit hole of fear, anxiety, stress about your pain, only thinking about the negative things, then our pain is going to respond and you're still going to continue to be in pain. But if you actually want to make a change, just continuing to think those same thoughts are not going to get you anywhere. So we want to start changing our thoughts to positive. So if you start to catch yourself complaining about pain or worrying about pain, think of it this way. Switch those thoughts to a positive. Think of something that you are blessed for, that you are thankful for, that you have gratitude towards, and you will start to notice that your pain also changes, because pain is highly driven by our thoughts. Okay, so that's number 1. Switch our thinking to positive, especially thinking about maybe the 5 things that you feel blessed for. Okay, now number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to stop the shift of there's nothing I can do about my pain, because I talk about this all the time, that action is key, especially with arthritis. If we continue to think that there's nothing you can do about your pain, then that's when we start to really get ourselves into trouble. And so again, if you start to think, there's nothing I can do about my pain, if you say no to something because you don't think it will work, I want you to say yes to something this week. In the next couple of days, I want you to say yes. So for example, if you have been avoiding walking, or if you have been avoiding maybe going to your favorite place because you're not sure if it's going to aggravate your pain, or if you're afraid of starting a new exercise program, or if have been saying no to going to get a coffee with your friends, or something, you have been saying no to something because of your pain, I want you to switch that and actually say yes to something. Because if we constantly are shutting doors from whatever we want to do, if we're constantly shutting doors because of our pain, that is going to keep happening. And then you're going to start shutting bigger doors. So I want you to actually start to give yourself some confidence and start to say yes to something this week. Now, don't say yes to go walking 10 miles if you haven't been walking, or don't say yes to go start running when you haven't ran in 5 years. But say yes to something like going to hang out with your grandkids, or maybe even just ask if you can, or say yes to an opportunity. Because if we can get into the habit of saying yes to things, then our mindset is going to absolutely change. So number 2, I want you to say yes to something. Again, keep it in reason, but say yes to something that is going to make you happy. Say yes to buying that new shirt for yourself that maybe you can fit in the next month or so if you continue to work hard. Say yes to something that's going to bring joy to your life. Okay, now number 3. So the most important thing, if you are feeling scared about your arthritis, is to learn more about it. And this is not new information, but a lot of times we turn, like I said, to family, friends, things on the internet that might not be appropriate or might not be true, but then we start to believe these things as true. For example, if you have a headache, we turn to WebMD and it says you have a brain tumor, or you have arthritis and are feeling scared about it, and then you go read an article that says you'll never be able to ever do high impact activities, or you'll never be able to do the things that you want to do. This is what creates more fear. And so what I want you to do is I am going to put a link below to a video and a blog post, both, whichever way you prefer to watch or read, about how to find hope with arthritis. Because my main mission is to take away this fear, take away this anxiety, take away this frustration, and actually give you hope and confidence. And so go ahead, after this video finishes, I want you to click down in the description, because I'm going to put the video version and the blog post down there. And I want you to take 5 to 10 minutes and either listen to it, read it, or both. If you can learn to find hope, if you can learn what your arthritis is, how you can prevent it from getting worse, and how you can actually take action, this is going to take the fear away. I promise you. It's not going to take it away immediately, but if you follow these 3 tips, you are going to feel less fearful and more empowered with your arthritis. So, number 1 is thinking of things that you're grateful for, that you feel blessed with, that you just have gratitude towards, and start to shift that negative thinking. Number 2 is say yes to something. Stop shutting doors for yourself just because of the fear that you might have pain. Again, within reason, but say yes to something that's going to bring you joy. And number 3, I want you to watch or read how you can find hope with arthritis, because that's going to start to build that peace of mind. Okay, guys, my name's Alyssa. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and founder of Keep the Adventure Alive. If you follow these next 3 things, then you are going to have success with arthritis, and that's what Keep the Adventure Alive is all about. I am on a mission to show you can do this, even if you have arthritis. Thanks for watching, guys.